Hello, everybody. My name is Lucas. In November 2020, my brother Mateo contracted COVID-19 like so many of us did. But unlike most of us, he hasn't yet recovered. Mateo is now what is known as a COVID long hauler, a title given to those whose COVID symptoms last more than 3 months. So, yeah. In all this time, he's been documenting his ups, downs, victories, and setbacks through journals, medical records, and love letters to you, the listener. And if he's come to one conclusion, it is that COVID is stupid. Last week on COVID is Stupid, we accompanied Mateo within, zooming in and picking apart the granular steps he and his biofeedback specialist Joy have crafted so that Mateo could once again breathe. This week, we're going to share something very special with you all, something Mateo conceived to incorporate into his daily therapy. Something crafted in that way that is so uniquely Mateo, and we thought you might like it too. So, here's my big brother Mateo with Breathe or Breathe Not. There is no try.
You will go to the Dagobah system. There you will learn from Yoda, the Jedi Master who instructed me.
Hello, friends. Mateo here. What you just heard is the very first voice I have heard practically every morning of the past 18 months. In the previous episode, I told you about getting referred for biofeedback therapy. I talked about getting hooked up to contraptions, doohickeys, and a medical-grade thingamabob, all with the purpose of objectively measuring my body's physical reactions while breathing at different speeds. From these devices, it was determined that my resonant frequency involved breathing at exactly 6 breaths per minute. Because at this rate, my parasympathetic nervous system goes from being a casual spectator to a willing participant within my own body. At this rate, my jacked up hyperactive nervous system gets to enjoy precious sips of rest and digest within this 5-year ocean of being frozen in fight or flight. The homework I was given from the therapist was fairly straightforward. Now that we know my magic number is 6 breaths per minute, I was to spend at least 20 minutes a day, consciously, intentionally, and purposefully breathing, along to a pacing video. That was summer of 2024. Here we are, many moons later, and I'm happy to report that I'm still doing my homework every single day. Every morning after I wake up, and every evening after I fall asleep. Wait, shit, that's not right. It's before I fall asleep and before I wake up. Wait, no! God damn it. You know what? Just take my word on it when I say I do it at least twice a day, okay? All right, let me... And in this episode, I'd like to share with you all how I do it at least twice a day. But first, I say we should breathe. My therapist did provide me with a few pacing videos to keep me on target. They would play a chromatic scale up and a chromatic scale down. And up and down and on and on. But my brain was having a difficult time counting 8 notes up and 8 notes down, while also trying to pay attention to 5 seconds in and 5 seconds out. Fortunately for my parasympathetic nervous system, when I searched 6 BPM pacing video on YouTube, there was no shortage of options to choose from. I found myself connecting with a slow, gentle wave in and a slow, gentle wave out. It had a little bouncing ball on the screen that would rise and fall with every breath. And the video itself was 20 minutes, making it very easy for me to know when I had satisfied my daily homework requirement. And I developed a lovely morning routine of going to the back porch before the sun came up in the morning and breathing. As the summer continued, I began incorporating my morning physical therapy into this breathwork routine. And so it went for another month or so. At that time, I decided that gentle waves were not nearly nerdy enough for my delicate sensibilities. So, I said, "Hey Lucas,
Yeah, what's up?
could you make me a new video, but make it way nerdier?
I think, well, what do you mean?
Take these gentle waves, but layer it with Star Wars sound effects. And every 10 minutes, pause the action to have Yoda chime in with some Jedi words of wisdom.
Okay.
Then go back to the waves and Star Wars sounds for another 10 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, you said nerdy, and why did I even ask, huh? Tell me, something like this?
A Jedi must have the deepest commitment, the most serious mind. A Jedi uses the Force for knowledge and defense, never for attack.
Yes, exactly like that. But can you make it even nerdier?
I got you, brother.
And so he did. I'd asked for a bouncing ball effect like the video I'd been favoring, and was absolutely delighted to discover he took it a step further and instead added a floating Yoda head that bounced up and down with every breath. Well done, Lukiman. I love you.
Love you too, Teo. So glad you like it.
Okay, where was I? Oh yeah, I was on Dagobah, breathing with Yoda. Every morning before the sun came up, I would head to the back porch and play this Jedi training video. And every 10 minutes, my little Jedi Master friend would keep me on the straight and narrow. For instance,
You must unlearn what you have learned. Do or do not. There is no try.
right? That's exactly what I've been trying to say. There is no try, only doing. You know, that reminds me, we should do some more breathing. I brought my new video to therapy with me, and if the therapist was rolling her eyes at all, she was subtle enough that it went unnoticed. We discussed ways to incorporate movement into the breath work, and I began stretching and doing yoga along with breathing to Yoda. I'm a little ashamed to admit to you that little bit of wordplay had not occurred to me until the writing of this episode. I'm doing yoga with Yoda. Classic. In the past year, my routine has been refined, has evolved, and has become the soundtrack to my every morning. On a typical day, I wake up and press play before even turning on the lights. Meaning, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Yoda are the first two voices I hear every day, unless wifey and kiddo happen to be having a conversation outside my bedroom door. And because it's broken up into 10-minute sections, I have a built-in timer to move me from one exercise to the next. My usual routine is to spend 10 minutes breathing, 10 minutes stretching, and then 10 minutes lifting heavy things and putting them back down again. Sometimes it goes longer. Sometimes I also spend time with my massage gun. Sometimes I spend extra time with the yoga stretching. Sometimes I finish my 10, 10, and 10 and then transition immediately into crafting, drawing, stitching, or anything else that stimulates my brain. Other times, I don't have the spoons to lift heavy things, so I don't. Instead, I breathe, I stretch, and I fall back asleep. There are even days when all I have in me is to keep my head on the pillow and breathe. And that's okay too. If my body tells me it needs a break, I listen, I hear, and most importantly, I respect his wishes. Speaking of breaks, let's take one more breath break, shall we?
Size matters not. Look at me. Judge me by my size, do you? And where you should not. For my ally is the Force. And a powerful ally it is. Life creates it. Makes it grow. Its energy surrounds us and binds us. Luminous beings are we, not this crude matter. You must feel the Force around you.
Hell yes, Yoda. You know, maybe my nerd is showing, but that part kind of gives me chills. Luminous beings are we. We are so much more than these broken bodies. Luminous beings are we. To all my long-hauling luminaries, we're going to include a link to the full video in the description of this episode, complete with bouncing Yoda head, complete with Jedi words of wisdom, and a full hour of slowing down to breathe. We're all on our own path, our own road back to health. And while we may not all be in the same starship, we're all navigating the same storm. And it can be lonely at times. It can leave us feeling like nobody in the world could possibly understand the very unique playlist of symptoms we are managing. And while I may not be there with you in person, my hope is that you can listen to this video, hear my voice, feel my love, and take comfort in knowing that you are a luminous being, and we are all connected in the Force. I love you all. I see you all. I would hug you all if I could. Strength and health. COVID is stupid.
Nothing more will I teach you today. Clear your mind of questions.
So powerful. I mean, what better voice to have guiding you through the muck and fog of long COVID than Yoda? Great job, Mateo. I know Marco loved the episode too, so thank you from both of us. It's been an honor to help take Mateo's ideas from his imagination to something we can share. Whether that's his Star Wars meditation, role-playing sound effects, or this podcast you're listening to now. Labors of love from our hearts to yours. We'd like to hear some of the things that you've done to put your own personal stamp on your recovery. Email us at covidisstupid2020@gmail.com. And that's stupid with 2 O's, not a U. Or listen to us wherever you get your podcasts. We'd also love if you'd like and subscribe to our Facebook and Instagram page. Just look for COVID is Stupid on all platforms. And finally, you'll find a link in the description to Mateo's Yoda meditation breathing. Give it a try. Maybe you'll find something for yourself in there. So, until next time, this is Mateo, Lucas, and your good friend Yoda, saying COVID is stupid.
That boy is our last hope.
No, there is another.